Across the country,
Fetch him on. Come on.
thousands of farming families work tirelessly around the clock.
Hi, babies.
We enjoy what we do, so that's why we do it, because we love it.
But there are special days each year
Good girls, well done.
when they get to leave the daily routine behind.
Lift. Up, good boy.
It's their chance to come together as a community.
My favourite animal is a turkey.
To show off the best of their breeds.
Please, will you vacate the area so that judging can commence?
And the pick of their produce.
Cheers.
Salad or sauce to your burger?
1 cheese and onion, 1 beef.
There will be highs
Yeah!
Didn't she do well?
and lows. For the dedicated farmers who give everything to walk away a champion.
We're just very excited.
As custodians of the land, farmers are constantly finding new ways to manage the resources we have. Whether it's about developing sustainable ways to use our produce, or finding ways to make things that we want out of things that we waste. Farming innovators Graeme and Caroline Jarn and Stephen and Guy Wade have turned their passion into sustainable produce that they will showcase at the Scottish Game Fair. It's a chance to tell the world their stories and give their new businesses the boost they need to survive. Perched above the Strathmore Valley in the rolling Scottish countryside lies a 500-acre mixed farm, home to Graeme Jarn and his family. The farm has grown potatoes for over a century, and today, Graeme and his father Eric are checking up on their crop.
I think it's going to be rain, no, do you?
It's not going to be far away. We'll have a dig and see what they're like.
Yep.
They're looking not too bad, though.
No, they're looking good. Oh. There's a lot of tubers in there.
There's massive amounts of tubers, and they're healthy, too. Family farm has been on the go since
1910. I'm the third generation, and Graeme's the fourth generation of the Jarn family to be here.
So, yeah, been here a while.
We grow malting barley, wheat, oilseed rape, and winter barley for feeding the cattle with. Yep.
Yeah, good mixture of everything. Bit of a pick and mix.
But it's this crop of 20 hectares of potatoes which has taken this traditional farm in a brand new direction.
In potatoes, you know, there's different potatoes grown for different markets. You grow salad potatoes, so you want smaller potatoes. Baking potatoes, chips, multitude of uses. So, yeah, and it also makes vodka.
Scots are more known for taking a wee dram of whiskey rather than vodka. But Graeme has gone against the grain to become the first potato vodka producer in Scotland.
When I finished college, I looked to do something a little bit different in that I wanted to diversify. So it was 2000, I went to Australia.
Yep.
And yeah, I spent time on a small family farm who produced their own grapes to then produce their own wine. And that was great because they had a story of provenance to take to markets, albeit we don't have the climate in Scotland to grow grapes, but we can grow potatoes.
But what seemed like a bright idea to Graeme wasn't an easy sell.
But you were a bit sceptical at the beginning.
I was.
Yeah, you didn't take kindly to it. But I think as time went on, you kind of came round to the idea. I had to prove myself to begin with. I couldn't just come home and start the diversification. It was about another 10 years that we could run the farming side of the business before we could diversify and do something a little bit different.
And with a wide array of ideas on the table, it's no wonder Eric took some convincing.
We looked at fish farming, we looked at hydroponic peppers.
Asparagus.
We looked at asparagus was one thing. We looked at blankets for carrots because we get a lot of frost.
And then vodka was born.
And then vodka was born. We were driven to drink, and we thought this was as good an idea as any. At least if it didn't work, we could make ourselves happy with the next bottle. So, yeah.
With Eric finally on side, the checkbook came out. And in 2014, the farm invested in its first vodka still.
This smells fruity.
It's a good batch, that one.
Hopefully.
Happy days.
Good old Maris Piper does it again.
It was a risky move, but the one thing the farm had was a plentiful supply of the main ingredient, potatoes. And supermarket chains, famously fussy about perfection, were turning them down by the sackload.
Life's not perfect, you know. Potatoes are a lot like humans. We have our faults.
It's probably important to point out as well that the potatoes, there's nothing actually wrong with them. It's just a case that they're not aesthetically pleasing. They don't look a certain way.
I think that's a frustration as a farmer. You could have something that tastes perfectly good, but it just does not look pleasing to the eye. So rather than seeing it going to waste, we've got vodka out of it, so yeah.
With Graeme embracing sustainability, the next step was to bring in the brains. Chemical engineer and head distiller, Ali.
Nothing we do here is rocket science. Essentially, the whole process is a giant biochemical process. So if you can understand the reactions going on and how the potatoes' quality influences the final product, then you can understand what's going in at the bottle at the end. I like to think of myself as a chemist with a drink problem, so.
I didn't want to hear that as an employer either, so.
There's no drinking on the job here. This work needs a clear head. Vodka is made by mixing starch from mashed potatoes and yeast. The mixture ferments to create two types of alcohol and other byproducts which give it flavor. This process happens over 4 days in the aptly named still, spud.
Spud sometimes behaves, sometimes he doesn't. That's just one of the characteristics of spud. It's essentially just a giant kettle.
The alcohol rises to the top as a vapor, but it's not time to get the shot glasses out just yet. It can be highly dangerous.
It will then travel into the demethylization column, and the methanol will be stripped from the ethanol. Essentially, you want to keep the ethanol, you don't want to keep the methanol. If you drink the methanol, it can blind you, or worst case scenarios, it's fatal.
And there's still no waste. Once the alchemy is complete, the leftover spud mix is put to use.
The waste coming from the distilling process still gets fed back to the cows. We call it coo's booze. There's no alcohol in it, or not if you've done your job properly anyway, Ali.
It's just a mixture of water and potato, so just a potato soup almost.
Potato soup, yeah. Potato soup with no alcohol.
Yeah.
It's about utilising the muck that then comes from the cows to then put back onto the field to then grow the next crop of potatoes. You know, we've got a low carbon footprint in that the potatoes last year were growing, I don't know,
6 meters away.
6 meters away. So we could literally harvest them and throw them in from the field.
After all this hard work,
Thank you.
there have to be some perks.
We're just taste testing the vodka to make sure that it is perfect quality before we go out and sell this at the Scottish Game Fair. We like to ensure that every batch is as good as the last one.
Yep. Ticks all the boxes for the consumers.
Yep.
This is a family affair, and Graeme's wife Caroline takes on promoting the vodka in the visitor centre, tours of the distillery, and the all-important shows like the Scottish Game Fair.
The taste of the product's really, really important. That's why we use only one variety of potatoes. And I think they're often quite surprised at the taste that we have created here. It is a different experience from other vodkas. The creaminess you get from the potatoes and that sweetness that comes through as well.
Graeme chose his wife well. Not only does she love the farm, but as an Edinburgh-based interior designer, her visual flair can be put to good use.
It adds to the challenge of having two roles to play. I suppose brings elements to this that's quite useful as well. I design all our stands for going out to events, designed the new visitor centre as well. So, yeah, it's amazing how your skill set can be quite flexible.
It seems that town and country have joined forces to make a formidable team.
I don't know how to grow potatoes. That's your area of expertise.
Branding and marketing's not my cup of tea, you know, at the same token. So it's, you know, everybody's got again, back to their strengths. Everybody's got their own bit that they bring to the party, and it's good, you know, a party needs people.
Just a few miles from Scotland's River Tay, in the beautiful Fife countryside, lies a farmhouse that's home to father and son, Stephen and Guy Wade. Stephen's farm is 6 acres, surrounded by hills and estates, and it was the lure of the outdoor life that brought him here.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to run my own business. And as a student, I used to travel every morning to a farmyard and wait outside the farmer's door until he came out and gave instructions on what I should do each day. And I thought, I quite like that. I can tell you what I couldn't imagine, and that would be commuting into a city every day of my life. And I couldn't imagine living in spaces where there was no greenery.
It was this dream that made Stephen move here 35 years ago, shortly after he met his wife Claire and had 3 children here. And throughout it all, Stephen has been searching for ways to live off the land. Luckily for Stephen, there's always plenty to do in the countryside. Over the years, he has worked as an agricultural contractor. But with a large local deer population that roam wild in the countryside, looking after the land has its challenges.
It's quite interesting. I planted an orchard 15 months ago. The local road deer population destroyed every single one of my fruit trees. If you look halfway up the trunk, you'll see where the bark has been rubbed off, and that is exactly what roebucks do. The impact that our deer population have on our food production is quite dramatic. And you have 2 choices, basically. One is defense, which is a very expensive option, or secondly is to control by stalking.
To protect crops, a number of deer are culled every year, which is controlled by strict laws. The resulting venison is a free-range, sustainable meat, which is increasing in popularity, but still a niche market.
There's been a historical assumption that game meat is for an elitist group of people, and it's not. I know that because I've eaten it all my life, and I know that it is an interesting meat to eat.
Stephen is determined to share his passion for Scotland's wild game and make it more mainstream. It's a mission that came about 30 years ago when he first started working with pheasants.
We bought our first plucking machine, and I immediately thought, well, let's try and turn this into a little business. So we put the plucking machine in a trailer and we started trailing it around Scotland. Nobody else had a mobile plucking machine in Scotland, which was very exciting, as you can imagine.
Whilst on the road, he discovered a shocking waste.
In our early days, we would visit a shoot the year after we had been there for the first time, and we'd find deep freezers that were still full of pheasants from the previous season.
Because of oversupply, thousands of pheasants shot are given away or sold for pence.
In the UK, we have to act responsibly, and by that I mean for every bird that's shot, it has to go into the food chain if it's fit to go into the food chain. And at the moment, we're struggling to do that.
With the meat undervalued at best and wasted at worst, Stephen made it his mission to do something with this surplus, and Woodmill Game was born.
Most people now want their meat ready to go. They don't want to be processing it. They don't want to be preparing it too much. It's a change in styles and trends in the way we cook and eat and live.
Stephen's vision was to turn game cuts into food people could cook more easily, like burgers, sausages, and pies. But son Guy saw an opportunity to take it even further.
Dad has access to these fantastic sources of game. I started up a food truck that sells these game burgers.
Now the dynamic duo have got it all covered, with Stephen on ready-to-cook food and Guy serving it up hot.
There's quite a lot that you have done that we couldn't have done without you, and so you are very much responsible for most, I'd say 90% of our game sales over the past year.
In their professional kitchen on the farm, father and son make the magic happen.
Historically, the market has always been about selling oven-ready pheasants, haunches of venison, venison steaks, and these things they've either moved away from, or it's just too alien or too boring. It's not tasty enough, not exciting enough. What we're trying to do is make it much more palatable. And in order to make game meat more palatable, you have to mix a lot of other things with it.
Keen cook Stephen has developed a range of secret recipes that turn an underappreciated ingredient into crowd pleasers.
We can do a burger batch to start with, and we have now the meat for it, and we're going to start adding the other ingredients.
This batch right here is the Screamer burger. This is the venison burger that Screamer Peacock will be selling. After this, we'll be making some scratchers, which is the pheasant burger. Then we'll be making the peckers, which is the vegan burgers.
It's an ambitious wish list for the show, and until the business takes off, everything has to be done by hand.
Let's make some burgers.
Mix it up and then we'll get it minced.
You do get quite impressive equipment that does mix all of this for you. Although you can sometimes lease it, it's serious money. It's serious tens of thousands for some pieces of kit that we need. And hopefully one day we'll get there. Who knows, maybe after the game fair we might be able to buy one.
For now, it's all down to pure hard graft from father and son.
I think that family businesses, when they work well, are absolutely brilliant. Everything is good about them, the work ethic, and when it works well, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Coming from a farming background, I've been associated with farming families all my life. I can see the value, and it's precious, and the chance to have another generation working with you. Talking of which, can you move that on, please? Yes. We need to get going. Can you bring the bag of beef back?
But working with family isn't always perfect.
That's pork fat, not beef fat. How many years I've been teaching him to read the label?
If at first you don't succeed...
Just one bag.
One bag?
One bag. We don't need all that.
Right.
There's a cow in there. We don't need a whole cow.
You just can't get the staff these days. The hard work doesn't stop there. Guy has to prepare the trailer for the show.
Today is his lucky day.
The idea for Guy's business took root when he was just a teenager.
I was about 16 years old, working on one of Dad's lorries, actually, and we pulled over in a lay-by and had my first burger van, bacon roll, and a cup of tea. And I guess I was pretty fascinated by the fact that you had a kitchen in the middle of nowhere. And then I just started looking at food trucks more and more and just thought one day maybe I could do that. And then the conversation started coming up about, you know, what Dad does and his interest in making game and making different flavors, playing around with burgers, and kind of just put two and two together.
Now in its fourth year, the truck has been a shot in the arm for the family's game business. But not everyone is sold on the concept.
We've had some events where we've turned up and we've had people and all they want to know is, have you got a beef burger? You know, I just don't do it. You know, we have a supply of venison here. We have a supply of pheasant here. That is what I want to do. I want to look after what's happening here and try and get people to enjoy it.
Back in the Strathmore Valley, the last of the potato checks have been done. They need to turn their attention to the all-important Scottish Game Fair. But there's more work to do first. Caroline still has to finish her daily farm tour.
This is where our potatoes are stored, here on the right-hand side. I think people really enjoy the fact that it's a farm as well as a distillery. That's been a real selling point for us.
Folk have said, oh, they actually didn't know, locals didn't actually know where the vodka was made, and I think it's opened the doors up to let them know how it's made, where it's made, and see what we do.
People travel from far and wide to see the birthplace of their favourite tipple.
We had some Russians come and visit us, and they rolled away with quite a substantial amount of the vodka, so I could only assume that was quite a good sign that they took as many bottles as they did away with them.
The vodka may be a hit with the Russians, but the farm is about as far from Moscow as you can get.
This is our pond at the back here. This is where all the cooling water comes from. Potatoes were in all these fields across there last year.
In the warehouse, Ali and Graeme have the big job of packing 300 bottles of vodka for tomorrow's game fair.
So you might be wondering why it's a red liquid and not clear like vodka. Essentially what we do is we take things from the farm, things from the local area, we'll then mix it, make our own cocktails, pre-made cocktails, and we'll sell that.
The challenge for this year's fair is to push their newest arrival, Crème de Cassis, another sustainable vodka flavoured with their friend's surplus blackcurrants.
I have every confidence that Caroline will make a good job of selling these. It's nice to have something new to engage the consumer with. Heaven forbid she comes back with all of these, there could be a stern talking to.
The farm produces around 10,000 bottles of vodka a year, small scale by industry standards, but they're hoping that the show will put them in front of some influential buyers.
You never know who's going to come to one of these fairs.
They get quite an international clientele at it.
But it's the loyal fan base who get the biggest thumbs up.
I think what would be satisfying for us at the fair is having just even one consumer come back and say, can I have another bottle?
Well, it's great meeting new customers, but it's really nice to see our return customers and know that they've enjoyed it.
It's the reward you get from that, I would say.
I think that's our measure of success, and that's a big achievement for us when people come back and say, oh, I've had that, it was great, and I need another bottle.
Back over the bridge in Fife, it may be playtime. But Stephen's still getting ready for the fair. Today, he's road testing a new recipe.
What we're doing now is there's another experimental recipe and another reason to eat pheasant. This time we're working on a pheasant sausage roll. So we've got cleaned, diced pheasant meat, and we just start to add all the secret ingredients. Well, these are going to be trialled on the family, as everything always is trialled on the family. And we then have a constructive discussion about how good it tastes or not. My mother loved cooking, and she loved really rich food. She praised me for bringing home rabbits and pigeons from the hedgerows. That got me interested in game. And so that's where it all comes from, and I just love doing it. And if you can make it from wild, sustainable food, there's a very strong argument for that.
Stephen's quest to find ever more exciting ways to eat game mean that the dinner table's never dull.
One is a pâté, a soft, spreadable, and the other one is a terrine.
But will the new recipes they're hoping to launch at the fair get the seal of approval from the board?
I put some orange zest in this one.
Yeah. What do we give that?
I like that.
In our taste panel.
Fingers crossed for tomorrow, then.
We'll have samples of sausage rolls, we'll have samples of terrine, samples of pâté, and our sausages, our famous pheasant and ginger sausages. So we'll have the ultimate taste test at the weekend. If anybody wants to try a burger, I'll send them across to you. If anybody's eaten a burger and enjoyed it, they can come and buy them from me.
Buy them cold, yeah. I think the game fair is a big opportunity for us. People will be interested in hiring us for the wedding, for the parties next year. I think it's going to be a pretty...
busy year.
Yeah. Like 10 times he's been before me, so any problems I'll go to him, he'll sort it out. I'm sure he will. Won't you, Dad?
I will.
Yes.
I'll be there for you, son.
Perfect.
The months of work, growing, producing and packing, have come to an end for now. It's time for the farmers to load up their wares for the Scottish Game Fair. For Caroline and her team, it'll be a vital chance to connect with their customers and tell their story.
Is that everything?
Yep.
Happy days, let's go.
For Guy and his family, the fair is a perfect opportunity for them all to champion their game business.
Right then, all good to go.
The annual Scottish Game Fair is set in the grounds of the historic Scone Palace in Perthshire. Now in its 31st year, the fair spans 3 days and is expected to attract over 30,000 visitors. And with over 500 traders booked in, there's something for every food lover.
The Scottish Game Fair, to us, is a real celebration of matters rural Scotland. Whether you be involved in the hills or in the lowlands, woods or rivers, we are here to celebrate and to enjoy everything that our rural communities have to offer. Right now, we're standing right beside the food hall, which is very much one of most people's highlights of coming here. They come to enjoy the very varied produce that Scotland has to offer.
There's less than an hour to go before the doors open. And with 2 stands to set up, Guy and his father Stephen don't waste a second divvying up the game.
How are we doing for time? Okay, actually, we're in place. So that's the main thing, as long as you're kind of not moving around too much. Doors are at 9, so still got 45 minutes, so it's actually okay. We just need to get this out of here.
Across the food tent, Caroline is putting her interior design skills to use, making an eye-catching stand to draw in the crowds.
Do you open the big box of bottles? Big box? Yeah, please, thank you.
She also has a family teammate, Graeme's cousin, once removed, Iona.
Distant relative, but good to keep it in the family, of course, being a family business. But it's nice. My gran used to play on the farm. She used to help pick the potatoes.
Despite being family, Iona had to undergo rigorous training for the job.
I've had plenty of sampling of the vodkas. That was part of the interview process. I had to test everything out, and it's got my seal of approval. I can confidently sell it now.
With nearly 50 exhibitors in the food hall, it's a hive of activity. Stall holders representing Scottish produce are all hoping to do a brisk trade. While Stephen still has to get his stock out,
We need some things to sell. That's a very good idea.
Guy also has to start sorting out the burger van.
I've got a target, yes. I'd be happy to do 150 units in total. I'd like to do 200, but then I'd really like to do 300, but who knows.
But until everything's ready, he can't even sell one, so he needs to get cracking.
We'll be cutting salads, making sure we've got everything ready, because when it starts, it starts and you don't have much chance to stop.
With plenty to do,
guess what we sell?
It's lucky that most people don't want a burger for breakfast. Stephen's stock is out. He just needs the seal of approval from his wife.
This is my best effort, but as soon as Claire arrives, I'm sure everything will be reorganised and look far much nicer than I can do it, but that's always the case.
It's 9:30 a.m. and the 31st Scottish Game Fair is officially open. Friday is historically the quieter day of the 3-day weekend, but already a steady stream of visitors are making their way in. At the vodka stand, Caroline is chomping at the bit to get going, but she has to let the customers walk on by.
Scottish licensing laws means that we can't sample or sell until 10 o'clock, so we have to wait until then. All right, we're all prepared, so once it hits 10 o'clock, then we can start sampling and selling.
She's not the only one twiddling her thumbs. For most people, 9:30 is a bit early for a game burger. Although Guy is ever the optimist.
So these are the venison burgers that we were prepping for 2 days ago. So all of our hard work is being cooked right now.
Also optimistic about the upcoming lunchtime trade, Guy has called in reinforcements. New employee Jack has arrived and can't wait to get started.
I've known Guy a while now, but the first time I worked with him was at the graduation ball on Saturday. It was so much fun. So much fun. Oh, paid to have fun, honestly.
He's not allowed to have too much fun. They've got targets to meet.
Right then, veg for it.
You can't keep a good man down.
Nothing else but veg all day. Cannot wait.
It's 10 o'clock, which means vodka can be legally served. At some food fairs, alcohol doesn't really pick up the visitors until lunchtime.
It's ready. This is lovely.
So that nice tall glass over ice, add a wedge of fresh lime into that one, and it's perfect.
But it seems it's never too early for the game crowd.
You heard of us before? No? So we're up at Glam's and we're using the wonky potatoes. So anything we can't sell to supermarkets, big or small, turn it into our vodka.
Yeah. The vodka itself, it actually tells you which field we grew the potatoes in. So you can go onto our website, you can see where they were all grown. I think it's really important for us to tell the story behind the vodka. There's a lot of spirits on the market at the moment that are buying in the base spirit, whereas the fact that we produce it all from scratch on the farm really is our unique selling point. So it's something that we're very keen to get that message across.
It's potato based. Yeah.
Really? What, vodka?
Yes, it's Maris Piper potatoes.
I know you put potatoes in vodka.
Yeah,
we're just back. It's only taken me 72 years to find that one. So is vodka taken over from gin?
We've certainly done something to sort of buck the trend, but because we've got these waste potatoes that supermarkets don't want, that's why we've done it, and that's where we're different.
Potatoes?
Yeah, so it's the ones that are too big or too small that the supermarkets don't want. So we were trying to find another way to utilise those. So we built a distillery on the farm.
That's a good idea.
Put them to good use, absolutely.
The fair is picking up the pace now, and visitors are being treated to a Scottish feast for the eyes and ears. From bagpipes to local wildlife, or maybe a spot of fly fishing. But things are still quiet at the burger van.
I think they're ready to go, yeah. Ready to be sold. Now we just need the customers. Small detail. Yeah, minor issue.
It's not a problem Stephen's facing.
They're delicious, aren't they? They're very, very good.
He's handing out samples of sausages Guy has cooked up for him, and sales are brisk.
Excellent.
Hi, Dad. How you getting on? All good?
Yeah,
well?
had a bit of a rush on.
Oh, good, good. It looks nice. Looks nice.
Hello.
Hi, can I have a venison of burgers?
Absolutely.
There we go. Seems to be busy over here, busier than me at the moment.
Stephen's not the only one having success with samples.
That is delicious.
Back at the vodka stand, samples mean sales.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
And some punters even do the selling for you.
Fred, Nicky, this is Scottish potato vodka. It's nice, it's creamier.
It's 40% strength.
You make chips with it.
The cassis is selling well.
Oh, that's nice.
They'll be pleased at the farm.
Shall I get another one? Give me another one. I'll take one as well.
Outside the food hall,
Salad or sauce to your burger?
Guy finally has a customer.
Of course, sir. You're welcome.
And he's travelled a long way for his burger.
Come here from Sydney, Australia, back to Scotland to visit family. And Scream Peacock looked like one of the most delicious burgers that I've seen for a long time. And in fact, it is. Very nice.
After a slow morning, it's just the boost Guy needs.
You're all right. You're all right.
Taking a leaf from the stands inside the hall, he has just the job for Jack.
Hello, sir. Would you like to try a bit of venison burger? Yeah, wouldn't mind.
Jack's enthusiasm is being put to good use.
Yeah? If you'd like to try a whole one. Yeah?
Wouldn't mind doing that at all.
Of course. Of course, sir. Yeah, no, it's really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah, you know, just up here, lovely. I'm going to jump inside and help out.
I've just come to the game fair just to see what's new, and obviously to eat some food as well. It was too simple for me. I love venison, and when he said, "Oh, would you like to test some venison?" Yeah, why not?
As a magnet for proud Scotsmen, the game fair is a great place for kilt spotting. But the iconic garment isn't complete without a sporran.
What is a sporran? It's essentially a purse for a man.
Monty Lewis has been designing couture sporrans for a year. And these are a cut above your average man bag.
The sporran is sort of a hangover from the times when you didn't have pockets. And in Scotland, they were often used to carry oatmeal or lead shot, your all-purpose pouch for carrying stuff. So very traditional design, but a bit of a modern twist. Inside, each sporran has got card slots for your credit cards and a change pocket for your loose change.
They may be useful for storing cards and cash, but after buying one, you may not have much left to carry around.
You're going to fall off your chair. The most expensive is probably this one. It's about £2,700, but it's completely unique, beautifully crafted, and they're heirlooms that you can pass on, hopefully for another 300 years.
Thank you. You're welcome. So, a scratcher and a screamer with fries. Okay.
It's lunchtime for game lovers.
Any gherkin for yourself? Yes, of course.
And at last, business is brisk for Guy.
Yeah, we're pretty busy. I mean, it's a steady speed, not quite the massive queue I was kind of hoping for. I guess it's Friday. I've heard Friday at the game fair can be a little bit slower than a Saturday or Sunday, so. But it's all right. It's fine. I'm happy.
No sauce on yours, okay?
I think we've sold about 85 burgers so far. The day is still young. What time is it? 2 o'clock? Don't know, maybe a few more. Hopefully get to 100. That would be good to get to today.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, got it? Hello, sir. Sorry about the wait. What would you like? Can we get a screamer and chips? Screamer with fries, coming up. Of course.
Over at the vodka stand, the bottles are also flying off the shelves.
I think for the Friday, just starting to pick up now, but we've had a good few sales. Yeah, people really liking the cassis. Vodka's been doing well, I think. So, yeah, we're pleased so far.
You got one of these little magic machines?
Caroline did well. Vodka was way off this couple's shopping list.
We actually, the only mission we have here today is to find a doorstop to hold a door open. So we'll go in search of that somewhere.
Bric-a-brac.
Outside, the weather has turned. It's a wee bit dreich, as the Scots like to say. It's not good news for Guy.
I don't think I will get to my 150, but I always set my hopes too high normally. I've never sold out properly, ever before, because I just always way too optimistic. But it's kind of, I guess, a bit of a curse, because then you're always going to be disappointed in some way, but that's where I do it. I aim super high, and then hopefully, maybe one day, I'll have a sellout gig. You never know.
But for anyone in the food hall,
Thank you. Enjoy that.
the rain is a godsend.
I have a bottle of
your creme de cassis,
Absolutely.
please?
It's very popular today.
I know. I tried some earlier and I sort of hummed and hawed about whether to come back to one.
It's really flattering for you.
I'm not that keen on vodka, but wanted to try the cassis, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I think the fact that they're using leftover vegetables, potatoes, whatever that they've got from the farm that they're producing and using that in another way is just a fantastic idea. Really, really good.
The cassis has been a hit. And the sudden influx of customers has helped Caroline sell nearly a third of her stock.
So this is our new creme de cassis, so it's a black currant liqueur.
Right.
Fancy that, yeah?
On the game stand, Stephen has also been hit by the rush. He's almost sold out of sausages.
We've slightly underestimated our sales. We weren't quite expecting, well, I wasn't expecting to sell quite so many, but we're very obviously delighted, but we're going to rush home and make more now. We're going to go for a big one tomorrow.
But canny Claire knows where to send her empty-handed customers.
I tell you what, if you want to try a venison or a pheasant burger, over there's a little van out the side there. That's our son's.
Despite his mum's valiant efforts, Guy knows when to call it a day.
Yeah, I think it might start packing up soon. The rain kind of keeps people inside.
Regardless of the early shutdown, it's been a promising start for the three-day show, and one that Guy can be proud of.
115 units gone now, so, you know, for a day out at the game fair, it's been okay. If we've done that today, I've got high hopes for tomorrow, so.
The day is drawing to a close. For the Wade family, it's been a successful day of teamwork in their joint mission to put game on the map.
We did our jobs. We sold a lot of stuff, and we're going to go home and have a nice evening. So it's good to see all of us within one family doing our bit and making something work.
And Claire and Iona have had great sales, and perhaps more importantly, told their story to hundreds of new fans.
It's amazing that we've turned these humble potatoes that otherwise would have gone to waste. They've now become a refined, elegant vodka, and it's world award winning. And yeah, sometimes you have to step back and think, actually, we've done that. That is amazing. So yeah, very, very proud of it.
With both families making living off the land ever more sustainable, the future of farming is in their hands.